Oh, so before this video begins, I realize that a lot of other YouTubers do this, like little disclaimer with like top 10 lists and whatever. This is my own personal opinion, and if you feel like I'm wrong or you have your own personal opinions, let me just say that you're wrong because I'm the sensei and I'm always right. So yeah, that's what other YouTubers do, right? Yeah, no, maybe, yeah, whatever. Welcome to Pongtoberfest. Drink your tea and get your spook on, cause let's get with it with the top 5 horror video games. Blah, on the 2600. Yeah, that's a bit misleading. I apologize, but horror and scary game lists have been done before by everyone and their mothers. So, I really don't think I can add anything new or inspiring. Also, I'm not a huge horror buff as some, so my knowledge on the matter is quite thin. But for those into the Atari, let's romp on through, because some of these are actually pretty good. Are any of them actually scary? Sure. By probability, I'm sure somebody other than myself thinks they are. So yeah, I don't really know how to segue this intro into the list, but I suppose why only 5 scary 2600 games? Because I couldn't think of more than 5. Number 5. Alien! Yeah, that's right, xenomorphs and the thrill of the chase. So, you like Alien Isolation, huh? Do you also like Pac-Man? What? The connection between aliens and Pac-Man doesn't make sense? Screw you guys. It makes total sense. This exists, and with that, my life is near complete. Also, considering that this reiteration is still more fun than Colonial Marines, picking this up as your introduction to the alien-themed video games isn't the worst you can do. Don't quote me on that. If this were the only Aliens game you knew, I'd feel pretty bad. Seriously though, all of this makes sense. Think of it, just like the movies and comics. Get your main character running around in a spaceship-like maze, chased by xenomorphs. Ooh, spooky. You gotta run around and pick up all the pieces of a massive puzzle, or card keys to open the door to escape, and the only thing you can defend yourself is by picking up a power star that turns the xenomorphs into blue things, exposing a weakness in their exoskeleton, segueing into a Frogger Crossy Road your way to a shooting star. Take the blue pill and this will make sense, and at some point, if this game makes sense for more than 4 hours, consult your doctor immediately.
I am Vince Clortho, Keymaster of Gozer. Volka Sildro, our Lord of the Sabulia. Are you the gatekeeper?
Punch it, Bishop!
You'll never come back again.
Oh, shut up, Ralph.
Somebody needs to make a fan film or write fan fiction of this, because this is gold. Yeah, Alien on the Atari 2600. It's a thing. Now, it's not a bad game by any means. It's definitely playable. It's a heck of a lot more playable than the official Pac-Man that released for the Atari systems. Sure, there's flicker and the elephant in the room are the seizures that come along with it. It's not really thrilling, and it's overall pretty mediocre, and really just another Pac-Man / Frogger clone. But it's fun for a while and a novelty for sure, and that's why it's number 5, and I couldn't really think of anything else for the number 5 slot. Number 4. It's a classic, and of course it's here on my list, Haunted House. Go look around for pieces of an urn of the dead guy that haunts the mansion. If there's a locked door, find a key. It's pretty straightforward. There's 4 floors, and once you get the urn built, get out of the house. Some strategy is needed if locked doors are present, since you only can hold one thingy at a time, and you'll have to drop the urn to use the key. There's also this vibe stick thing that scares the monsters away. Ew. It's normally regarded as one of the earliest first true survival horror games on console, and for anybody that's not familiar with Atari mechanics, yeah, it's going to be weird and confusing, but once you get past all of that, you're definitely going to have some fun with it. On harder difficulties, the lights are completely out and you only have a dim match that lights the way, which of course is prone to being blown out by a rogue breeze. It's pretty fun, and well, if you're interested in a sequel, don't look for it, just don't. Atari now, who's owned by Infogrames, is Atari in name only. Absolute garbage. It's a cash-in for a classic semi-forgotten title. Atari's dead and Infogrames makes sure of it with constant garbage. Except for the Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 through 3. But even the good ones are now considered retro. It's making me feel old. Stop ruining good franchises and for games, I'm warning you. You don't want to see me angry. You won't like it when I'm angry. Pong Smash! But for your morbid curiosity only, go do a YouTube search of Haunted House on Steam. It's a crappy game, and surprisingly, the original is scarier and offers tenser moments. Believe it or not. Yeah, somehow this is scarier than this. On the bright side, the original is a solid 2600 title and should be checked out for any old school fan. That's if you haven't already. Good stuff. It's not my favorite horror title on the 2600. That goes to a different game.
Number 3.
Now, only because I have a feeling that some Atari fans would throw a hissy fit if I don't include them, I'm going to be pairing 2 games in the number 3 slot. Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Frankenstein's Monster. Pong, you can't have 2 games in the same top list slot. And you said you couldn't find more than 5 games. I lied. I found a bunch, but whittled it down. It's my channel. Get over it. I do what I want. First up on third, Frankenstein's Monster is a game where you control a dude to collect blocks to stop the creation of a monster. What are those blocks? I don't remember. I have no idea. I don't have the instruction booklet on me anymore. It's harder than it looks. It's got 2 parts to it, a platformer and a pseudo bullet hell. As a whole, it's really fun. With its platforming element, it's got a real Pitfall jungle hunt feel to it. Hashtag still better than Montezuma's Revenge. Hashtag a game nobody remembers. Hashtag only a joke old fart nerds might know. Hashtag old. Hashtag this joke is overdone. Hashtag still not funny. The second part, well, it's not bad. I guess those are supposed to be bats? Imagine this in HD. Actually, hold up. Tune it up. Turn up the HD. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, much better. Now I see the bats. But in the original form, this section is a bit pointless and somewhat frustrating, since you can't really die, and in comparison to the first part, wouldn't bat an eye to. Either way, if you die via drowning too much, the monster is released, and with headphones on, or your speaker system bumped up to 10, it's jarring and ominous. Bump up the HD and boom! You got Frankenstein. Good fun, a hidden classic, and if I would ever make a top 10 list of my favorite 2600 games, Frankenstein's Monster might be on there, or at least considered greatly. Next up on number 3, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is basically a game where you play the role of Leatherface, going on massacre against tourists who've wandered onto your homestead, killing them with a chainsaw. Go figure. You manage your fuel carefully because it's easy to run out, and for the most part, it's pretty fun as well, though a lot simpler than Frankenstein. Believe it or not, this game came to some controversy as being too violent, too gory, too horrific. Many stores refused to carry it, and if you were lucky to find a store that did, was normally hidden away, under the counter or in the back office for nobody to know about unless asked. Ooh, secrets. I was a bit too young and unborn to remember this, a mere twinkle in my mother's and father's eyes. But I can't imagine some glowing kid's eyes wanting a copy, while the store clerk nervously denies even carrying it. It's fun though, and Franklin's wheelchair even makes an appearance. But why are there so many wheelchairs? In the movie, Franklin was the only one who used one. Does Leatherface have something against paraplegics? I've counted like 30 empty wheelchairs on this lot. Dude, seriously. I knew Leatherface was a cold, frightening monster, but specifically hunting down people in wheelchairs is just wrong. That's racist. Other than that, the game's okay. My only gripe with this is that in the movies, Leatherface is an unstoppable force to be reckoned with, while in the game, well, you get stuck in everything, and your only option is to saw through it, wasting much needed gas that'll leave you helpless when finally out. When you do run out of gas, boom, donkey kick, Leatherface is down! If only the characters in the movie and the victims that the story was loosely based off of knew this to begin with, then maybe things would have gone completely different and maybe comical. In almost America's Funniest Serial Killer Home Videos sort of way. But whatevs, this game isn't common, and actually quite rare, so if you want to play it, best way to do it would be through ROMs and multi-carts, cause this game goes for anywhere in between $100 to $500 a cart. Ugh, now that's scary.
Number 2.
Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes. Look at this cover. This is why I love old games. It's nothing to what the picture claims it to be, and the art itself is fun and really well done. I would like to hope I'm not digging too deep here, or too old for my own good, but y'all remember Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? Well, this is another good example of an Atari ripping off another title for sales bait or cloning. Mixing a weird element of defensive strategy and top-down shooter, Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes is absolutely cray-cray. The plants at the bottom are shooting at you, there's an evil tomato zooming in from the sides, and what you're supposed to do is build a wall by shooting the blocks at the top, then shooting them down to place them. Yeah, no, the mechanics make no sense, but it's fun. It's great, and in the harder difficulties, can get pretty stressful. Is this horrific or scary? No, not by any means. But I guess if you saw the cartoon of Killer Tomatoes when you were a kid and played this, and were easily scared by sentient veg, and I'm sure there has to be somebody there is, because I can't be the only person that is, then sure, this is an absolute nightmare. But why you're controlling a dirty needle is anyone's guess, and finding one of those laying around, let alone being one, can be scary too. Talk about weaponized gonorrhea. Ugh. So sure, if you get a nightmare from this game, leave a comment down below so I can laugh at you.
And number 1.
Halloween. Maybe it's not as good as some of the others, but finally playing it with the headphones as a ROM has gotten me to jump more than anything else on this list. It's not terrifying by any means, but do yourself a favor. Once that theme kicks in and Myers pops in front of you, and the lights are all flickering and he shows up, call me a wuss, but after a good 20 minutes or so, it gives me the willies. And check it out, there's blood! Pew 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 pew! It's kind of endearing that this caused such a hullabaloo in its time. Maybe it was one of the reasons for the distrust in the gaming market during the crash of '83, but you know what? I like this game. Basically here, you play the role of a babysitter saving and escorting kids to the far ends of a house, away from Michael Myers. It's hard to dodge him, but he's still pretty imposing. If there's a kid in the room, he goes after them before you, so you know, if need be, you can sacrifice the kid to save yourself. Yeah, I know that's pretty dark, but drastic times with drastic measures, bro. Stay alive so you can get that high score. Yeah. Bloody mess. Oh. An adorably animated decapitation. It's the thought that counts, and with that, it's scary. Whee! Whee! You can fight off Myers with a hammer that randomly drops. It doesn't kill him, but it scares him away, which is funny to think about. Scared from a hammer. Now, if they knew it was that easy in the movies. Yo, it's hammer time. Who knows? Either way, it's a pretty simplistic game, and beyond that, there's not much to it outside of its cute gameplay. It's a decent 2600 title for sure, and if you can find a copy to play, or are interested in some gaming history, play it. Sensei's orders. Anywho, I don't know how to end these list videos properly, so I'll leave you with an excerpt from a bit of fall season poetry. How high, real high, 'cause I'm just so fly, a young, lovable, huggable type of guy, and everything is to the back with a little slack, 'cause inside out is wiggity wiggity, wiggity whack. And until next time, Sets Pong signing out. The Mac Dad make you jump, jump, jump. The Dad Mac make you jump, jump. Bollocks! Now that's gonna be stuck in my head for the next week.